Welcome. Welcome, everyone. New time. New moment. I attune myself to the creative impulses that indwell in me and seek to express in, through, and as me today. As we are back with the Law of One, Book 2, I am like Ra, a humble messenger. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Be a seeker of self. Dive into your unknown. All you got to do is make it known. All Ra wants you to do is to make. That's all. No ifs, no ands, no buts, just is. Dive into you. Are you ready? I know I'm ready. Are you ready, Marcus?
I am definitely ready, and I have some nice clean water here. Keep myself hydrated throughout this session and this night. Just remembering, well, the few things of the beautiful water and just the element of water and what she is in nature for us when it comes to our purification and the way that she's able to relax and soothe and bring cleansing. And then I also think about the power of, connecting with water consciously and the way that we can utilize water when we take sacred baths, showers, and in other interactions with water. And then also remembering that our human body is made up of a large percentage of water. And it's just a really fascinating and beautiful thing. And if anybody ever has questions about how to create shungite water at home, that is something that I have been using for about 5 years now. And through that, I've found many different health benefits as well as self-efficiency through water. So if you ever have questions about it, just reach out. I actually have a video on my YouTube channel going step by step about what it is, the health benefits, and a demonstration of how to make it. So if you guys ever want to dive into that, let me know. Very simple, very efficient, helps you save money, helps you not buy plastic, helps you have your own water that you create and structure with your own energy. Yeah, it's a very it's a very powerful time that we're in right now. And Sandee, if you may, would you care to join me to just take a moment to just to give a prayer and give a little bit of strength and guidance to those that are going through a lot in this moment, in this country, in some other areas of the world.
Awesome.
It's hard to ignore. It's hard to ignore some things sometimes. And as a human being in this experience, there's some pretty hefty things happening right now. And I just want to take a moment to give my heart, give some love to those that are moving through this.
Definitely. 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 Yes, I will. I am. I do. It is already so. Love, unconditional love flows through every nook and cranny of the divine, of wholeness. That's what earth consciousness is, wholeness. She may be cleansing herself, and yes, we may be in her way, She's not doing it on purpose, whole and strong. We're made to support each other. When I'm looking on the news at all the water and the mud, helping each other. You know what they tried to show? They tried to show all the things, all the horrors that you could be scared of. You know, the alligators and crocodiles and but what I saw was people helping each other. I saw the glory of people getting dogs off roofs and getting pigs out of the deep mire of the mud. I saw what the divine wanted me to see was the wholeness of other people being the mirror of other selves helping. It had nothing to do with religion. It had nothing to do with politics. It just had to do with people and the desire to help. They didn't have time to think about how horrible and what the horrible extremes of why things were happening, because it was just happening. And you know, I felt that they thought, who am I in this moment? Who am I going to be in this moment as things are happening around me? There were people jumping into the water, trying to get people out of water. There were people that were making it, trying to make it from the ground level of their houses while they were filming. Yes, this is true. While they had the phones in their hands, filming how they were going to get from the ground level to their roof, and what path they were going to take and what was in their way. But they were determined. So let's hold space for them. Let's hold space for that now moment of surrender and saying, I surrender to you, divine, because I know all my needs are met and I'm safe. In no consciousness is not meant for malice of me, but for safe and security of me. That the wholeness of all the world is looking and saying, be safe, be whole, be guided. That they're calling their angels of light. And they're saying, go out and help those that need help. I'm okay right here. Go help them. That's what I told my angel. Help who needs to be helped, because that I have given. How do you give when you're 2,000 or 5,000 miles away? Give your angels of light permission to go and protect, to extend. Maluku ashe sotoku umche se sonake e. Maluku uchie na tu achie na. Na si oto se na te ki kula me ki kende me kula me he se solo no kua. Me si sol na boku ache se bole me ki se loku umche la me ki ala shi shana. Shalaku tatiki ki no te she na akiana. Mahali kismuku uche no toku unda I. Paliki shosho no toku una kiana se no toku takim. Matuku usha no toku unda I na se solaku usha no toku Paliki she loku paka ate. Shiluku she shena. Shiluku she shiluku dear na here says Haku. Shiluku tai is sanaki is. But what is naki na is shina. Everywhere in the world, we can hold space for everything going on all at once and not at all. I say not at all because in the not at all, the divine is holding us up. We are not forgotten. We are part of all that goes on and all that does not. We are celestial beings in human form, but we've got the light to lift up and share love, unconditional love. Unconditional love can do so much. It can heal. It can save. It can keep that person in warmth until someone gets to them to lend a hand. It can shine a light. Love like a flashlight and point it in the direction of where unconditional love needs to go. It breaks through the darkness. You were born with that. All you got to do is give it permission to go where it needs to go. It already knows. It already knows. Let the light shine bright to those buried beneath their center. To stop their cars from floating. Give them a moment to breathe. For them to find their loved ones. Shine the light. Let it just push through you. Give those angles of light a moment. For the kushinata is for the waters to recede. For the animals, the crocodiles and the alligators and all those that were displaced. Let the waters recede and allow them to go home. Allow many people to be found safe and sound. Shine that light on them. Just allow your light to shine. Allow it to vibrate. Allow it to be a homing beacon. Allow your heart to be strong for them with unconditional love. The more your heart beats for them in that unconditional love, the more you shine. The more you shine. Back to you, Marcus. Mm.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. I'd like to, oh man. Okay. It's early in the podcast, but it's that time. Take a few deep breaths, if you may. Slowly breathing into the nose, breathing out of the mouth, into the nose. One more time. Out of the mouth. As you continue to breathe, making sure you're breathing all the way down to the earth, grounding into your body. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
I feel it. I just gotta say I feel it. And
You feel
I
that?
also want to say, welcome everybody to episode 31 of Ascending Beyond Limitations. Marcus Christolight and Sandee Marshall, and we are here at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. And we traditionally don't really do this in the beginning, but I feel called. I don't know why, but I just feel called tonight with this new time and some new faces in the spaces. And I'd like to take a moment to actually share a little bit about ourselves for everybody, so they can get to know a little bit about who we are and who they're connecting with as we go into this journey with Ra. How do you feel about that, Sandee?
I love to share myself. That's what I'm here to do. Share myself, to inspire,
Awesome.
to motivate. To educate.
Oh, Logan's here. Logan. So, yeah, I'll introduce myself first. So my name is Marcus, and I also go by Christolight. And if you guys haven't been in any of my spaces yet, I do a lot of different podcasts and shows, and I produce and edit. And I also produce guided meditations. And then I'm also a one-on-one practitioner. I also do practices at events and festivals and retreats. Also host retreats as well. And I practice Reiki. And I also do light language activations, card readings. I also do life coaching for shadow work integration, as well as rebuilding daily patterns. And I also help with other things like addiction and some other different focuses. Inner child healing, subconscious reprogramming. A little bit about myself is a lot of my journey was surrounded with addiction, and through addiction, I learned different holistic practices, and those holistic practices were able to help me be able to be more grounded as well as more healed from the parts of me that were pulling out to addictive behaviors. So then through those practices, I was able to really become more of in my purpose, so to say. And when 2017 came around, I had been selling different drugs at the time. And I ended up selling to an undercover, and I went to prison for a year. This was in 2017. And when I went in, I had already been aware of meditation as well as some other practices that were able to help me with healing those aspects of myself. So when I went in, I ended up teaching about 7 to 8 different people meditation as well as the 7 chakras and how to balance their chakras through breathwork meditation. And then after that, I became inspired through that to get out and basically. What's
Little
that?
bit, so I don't think anybody caught that last little bit that you had said.
Oh, where did I leave off at? Did you hear?
The end of what you were saying.
So basically, through my experiences in prison when I was teaching them meditation and the chakras, it inspired me when I was going to get out to basically create spaces to help people on the outside. And that's what started Sacred Light Healing and Wellness for me. And then I created the podcast, and I created different services like Reiki, crystal healing, and doing the guided meditations, which has been about, I think, 8 years now. Yeah, 8 years, I'd say. So that's me. That's my path and my journey. And I'm also someone that is I'm also very big against, like abuse and things like that as well. So when I was a teenager, the reason why I'm sharing this too is to share that we can definitely like grow and heal through these experiences. But when I was a teenager, I was experiencing my parents divorcing. And of course, that definitely was not very pleasant for anybody to go through. And the thing that really like hurt afterwards was experiencing my mother be in relationships with multiple different men that would be abusive towards her. And the thing was, like, my dad never was. So then for that to happen afterwards, it was just like, I don't know, it was just like a double shot, you know? It was pretty hurtful as a teenager. So me experiencing that and going through that as a teenager definitely sparked something really big inside of me that is just like very against and protective when it comes to that type of behavior. It's it's very powerful and it creates ripples, that's for sure. So that's a little bit more about me too. That's one of the biggest things that in my life has really shaped me to be the way I am, as who I am. Thank you guys for listening.
It's who you are, Marcus. You're a glorious soul. Glorious. You're just a glorious soul. You're this you're this celestial being in this human body, and you, even though you're living some traumatic life, you're learning through it, and for being, you know, for
Uh-oh.
for allowing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know if I see myself glitching, I will try to repeat myself. For me, I'm Soul Awakening with Sandra. I love the raw materials. So that's why I'm here doing this, because I love that the divine channels through me something that's already been channeled before, to give, as I am getting wisdom and understanding from reading to you book 2. I am truly excited, because this is what I've been called to do. This is what I've been called to do, but this is also deep inside me what I wanted to do, was to inspire and to motivate, to educate, to help edify, so that you can shift and expand and evolve. And I'm doing my dream. Soul Awakening with Sandra was, I'm just in a growth and expansion mode. And I'm excited, because I said to the divine, I want to inspire. I want to motivate. I want to be a speaker. I want to be I want on YouTube, on TikTok, on my Spotify, and the divine is growing it for me, while I'm being active in it. I'm being a part of it. I'm embodying it. And then here I am, co-hosting with a glorious star, celestial being, and we get to do this together. This is episode 31. And I'm so excited in my mind, and I like it. I know I do. I don't just like it, I love it. I love doing this for you, because I know if I'm doing it for you, I'm doing it for me. We are wholeness. We are one. When I look at you, I look at my other self. That's to be in service of to others. The positive polarity of moving up to merge back with the divine at the cost of other selves. It's a choice. It's a free will choice, not a wrong, not a right, just a choice. And then we get to make a choice from it. We get to have a discernment. Service to others is service to self, because it is wholeness. It is oneness. It is the law of one. Service to only self is all right. You get to try it out and see if it works for you. And if you want to stay in that, then the divine says, your wish is my command. It's seeking it. And that's what I'm here to inspire and to motivate others. And that tag, know thyself. The unknown is you. And I'm here to support you. I'm here to be a teacher and at the same time be a student. And at episode 31 with you. Are you ready?
Is it that time? For the channeling of Ra? Oh boy. I'm ready.
Oh boy. Upon our, the questioner says, could you tell me the simplest and first entity that have both orange and yellow ray energy centers? We stopped there in episode 30. Ra says, I am Ra. Upon your planetary sphere, those having the first yellow ray experiences are those who find it necessary to depend in some way upon their own selves for survival. Simplest that would have red, orange, yellow, and green rays activated. Ra says, I am Ra. This information has been covered in the previous sessions. To perhaps simplify your asking, each center may be seen to be activated potentially in third density. The late second density entitled or entities having the capacity, if efficient, activating the green ray energies. The third density beings having the potential for complete activation of all energy centers. The fourth, fifth, and sixth densities are those refining the higher energy centers. The seventh, turning towards timelessness or foreverness. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you to Marcus so that you understand when the questioner says, and then what entity would be the simplest that have red, orange, yellow, and green ray activated. So Marcus can help us recall what the red, what the orange, yellow, and green rays are that this questioner is asking about. Could you help us out, Marcus?
Yeah, absolutely. So, starting with the red. Everybody in the comments as well, if you want to participate. Starting with the red. The chakra or energy center that we have at the red. It is also known as the base, and that is the root chakra. Root chakra is our foundation for our physical human life. It's our relationship to the third dimension. It is our ability to feel grounded, secure, and stable within our human vessel. It is also how we feel our connection to the Earth's abundance. It is how we feel connected to all of Earth's connection. Along with that, it is also where we store pain, anger, resentment, as well as fear and fight or flight. So if we're having struggles with those aspects, then we can do root chakra clearing, root chakra healing. So now you have the orange. Orange is the sacral. Sacral is the next one up from the root. And the sacral is where you begin to feel emotions. It's where you're able to have senses and you can feel the energy, the information, and the emotions. And then it is also where you cultivate that information and energy into prana and turn it into kundalini energy or life force energy. And then that's also your divine feminine energy. It is also where you cultivate and harness your sexual life force energy. Now, sexual life force energy is not about just sexual energy. It is also about creative energy. And this is why there's different ancient practices dealing with cultivating that energy and raising it like the kundalini to the crown chakra. So then it's also your pleasure center. So your ability to like have pleasure and feel joy. Now, misuses of that would be basically the counteractives of those. So then you move up to the yellow. The yellow is the solar plexus. Solar plexus represents basically like our inner personal sun. And with that, it is basically our self-esteem, our courage, our self-empowerment, our willpower. It is our self-image. So it's just like the way that we feel about ourselves. It is also known as the ego center. When I say ego, it's basically where we begin to have our own character of who we are as an individual. That's the solar plexus. And then it's also our action center. So it's where we begin to start putting action with the sacral energy. And then from there, you have the green, which is the final of the four that we are going over in this moment. And the green is the heart chakra. That's at the center of the chest. And it's also the one in the center of the seven. And with that, it is the balancing force for your emotions. It is also where unconditional love streams directly through us to the heart chakra. It is where we feel compassion to other living beings. It's where we're able to have empathy. And it is where we're able to access gratitude and forgiveness. And I'll give a couple examples, like if we kind of overactivate or misuse that heart chakra, it could be things of causing divide and having major division within ourselves and putting it into others. It can also be holding on to a lot of grudges towards others for their actions, behaviors, as well as feeling unloved. Feeling unloved is part of having an underactive heart chakra. So those are the four energy centers that Ra had just brought up back to you.
So the questioner then would an animal in second density have all of the energy centers in some way in its being, but just not activated? Ra says, I am Ra. This is precisely correct. The questioner asks, then the animal in second density is composed of light, as are all things? What I am trying to get at is the relationship between the light that the various bodies of animals are created of, and the relationship of this to energy centers which are active and to the ones which are not active, and how it is, or how this is linked to the logos. It is a difficult question to ask. I forgot that I had took my mic off to be respectful, just in case I sneezed when he was speaking, and I read all of that without knowing. Go figure. So let me do it again.
No, I heard you the whole time. You were on mute.
I wasn't on mute?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
That's weird.
Okay. So let's see. Ra says, I am Ra. The answer is to redirect your thought process from any possessed the potential available to the revolving or evolving entity. So Ra is saying, take your thought process of everything being mechanical. Take your thought process from everything being linear and to it just being. The will of the logo posits the potential that is available to the evolving entity. The entity is going to evolve with what it was given. Second density grew, the vegetation grew, the birds and the animals evolved without even thinking about anything. It didn't think that it didn't have, it wasn't using all of its light chakra or its chakras. It just is. It just was. It just will be. It just is. Think about this. An eagle doesn't fly down and ask you what time it is. It just is. It is when it's flying during the day, and it is when it's flying during the night. It doesn't have to think about what chakra, what vibration it's in, evolving through its next moment. Makes sense? Makes sense. Anybody need for me to say that again? A bird doesn't fly over to you and say, hey, I've never had a bird fly to me and say, hey, Sandy, what time is it? I've never had a bird fly over to me and say, what year is it? They're just being. I've never had a bird fly not having a great moment. I mean, if we could put it in that sense, right? So Ra goes on to say the will of the entity as it evolves is the single measure of the rate and the fastidiousness of the activation and balancing of the various energy centers. The various energy centers in second density is that it just is. The energy centers are at the core of Earth consciousness. Everything moved in perfect harmony. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The questioner asks, thank you. In the session from the day before, yesterday, you mentioned veritable speeds of rotation or activity of energy centers. What do you mean by that? Ra says, I am Ra. Each or it more clearly in relation to color and or brilliance. The more stronger or strongly the will of the entity concentrates upon and refines or purifies each energy center, the more brilliant and rotationally active each energy center will be. It is not necessary for the energy centers to be activated in order in the case of the self-aware entity. Thusly, entities may have extremely brilliant energy centers while being quite unbalanced in their violet ray aspect due to the lack of attention paid to the totally of the experience of the entity. Ross says the key to balance may then be seen in the unstudied spontaneity or spontaneous and honest response of the entities towards experience, thus using experience to the utmost, then applying the balancing exercise form of energy center manifestation in the violet ray. This is why the brilliance or rotational speed of the energy centers is not a violet ray manifestation of any entity in regarding harvestability. For those entities or the primary rays, it will not be capable of sustaining the impact of the love light of intelligent infinity to the extent of necessary harvest. I think we would not have to know a little bit about the violet ray. Is the violet ray the crown chakra, Marcus?
Yeah, the violet ray is the crown chakra. It also represents transmutation and, actually, hold on a second here. Violet ray of light. There's this beautiful thing that we have in this beautiful age of Aquarius that we're in, where we can access information in the palm of our hands.
Yes. There we go.
So the violet ray of light. Let's see here. Better yet, this may serve better. Okay, it's meditation. Okay. Maybe we are going to read a little bit then. Sometimes I kind of tuck these things away. There we go. The Summit Lighthouse is a really good website for information when it comes to conscious and galactic things. So the violet flame. Welcome, God is. Switching the code. So we got here. The violet flame is a invisible spiritual energy, the seventh ray of the Holy Spirit, that appears violet to those who have developed their spiritual vision. Think of it as that outer band of a rainbow, as it goes from blue to violet to a color beyond our vision. Saints in the depths of the East and West have long used the violet flame to accelerate their spiritual development, but this once secret knowledge was not revealed to the masses until the 20th century. Why not? Well, let's face it, even without this freeing light, people try to get away with murder. If people think they could practice a spiritual exercise to undo all their mistakes as a get out of jail free card. And unfortunately, we could see people using the exercise in less than a altruistic way. But today, Saint Germain is betting that you are reading this page as a spiritual seeker with a rather noble intent. As Buddha urged us long ago, time to get off the wheel of birth and rebirth. The violet frequency revitalizes and invigorates us by changing negative energy that drags us down into positive energy that makes us joyful by transforming negative thoughts and feelings. The violet flame provides a platform for our healing. And then you can also connect with Archangel Zachiel on the flame of joy, and you can call upon that to sweep through the consciousness of humanity, even right now. The flame caresses matter, for the flame is the Holy Spirit, is then wed to the Divine Mother. Man. So amethyst, you can connect with amethyst. You can hold amethyst or carry amethyst, wear it, have it set up around your home, your work spot, and amethyst can help you connect with the violet flame energy. So they have personal transformation resource technologies, practices you can do. It's got the origin, how does it work, mantras. They got a lot of good stuff on here. I am affirmation. You guys want to do the I am affirmation?
Yes.
We can do the I am affirmation real quick.
Yes. Less.
Beautiful. Okay. All right, well, if we're going to do this, let's get proper. Let's get ourselves nice and relaxed and in a good technique with our body. And let's have our back as straight as we can if we're sitting. And if we're laying down, have our legs straight, not crossed. And we're relaxing our shoulders down to the side. And relaxing our hands, our feet. And then relaxing our jaw and our shoulders. All right. So now breathing through the nose. As we breathe through the nose, draw the breath down the body, feeling the violet flame. And breathing out the mouth. And just continuing to cycle with this breath. And then just repeat after me, after each sentence, at your own free will, of course. And it begins with, I am the violet flame. In action in me now. I am the violet flame. To light alone, I bow. I am the violet flame. In mighty cosmic power. I am the light of God. Shining every hour. I am the violet flame. Blazing like a sun. I am God's sacred power. Freeing everyone. I am the violet flame. Decree. Namaste. Ashe. Ooh.
Oof. The questioner asked, could you tell me the difference between space/time and time/space? I am Ra. Using your words, the difference is that between the visible and invisible, or the physical and metaphysical, using mathematical terms, as does the one you call Larson, the difference is that between ST and T, I'm sorry, space time, and TS meaning time space. The questioner says, you mentioned in the session on this process and explain a little bit more about how this works. Ross says, I am Ra. This, and he has a comma, so take a pause. As all healing techniques must be used by a conscious being. That is, a being conscious that the ridding of excess and unwanted material from the body complex is the analogy to the ridding of the mind and the spirit, discipline and or denial of the unwanted portion as an appropriate part of self is taken through the tree of mind down to the trunk to subconscious levels where the connection is made, and thus the mind, body, and spirit then in unison express denial of the excess or unwanted spiritual or mental material as part of the entity. All then falls away, and the entity, while understanding, if you will, and appreciating the nature of the rejected material as part of the greater self, nevertheless, through the action of the will, purifies and refines the body, the mind, the spirit complex, bringing into the manifestation the desire mind complex of spirit complex attitude. You become aware of what you're aware of what you're healing or what you're trying to heal during a fast. Giving thanks for what you're healing from. That at one time, that had purpose for you. Though now it no longer holds purpose for you for your highest and greatest good, you give thanks to it and you let it go from your body. Whatever your fast is, whether you're doing a juice cleanse or whether you're doing just water cleanse, you're giving thanks for what's leaving your body. At one particular time, it had some purpose. Thank it and let it leave. Everybody's going to have a different version of purification. One size does not fit all. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. What works for you might not work for someone else. Do you, and do you well. Would you like to add anything, Marcus?
Yeah, actually, there was something that I wanted to show, and it was about it's about, I don't know if it's China.
Then Goddess Love is having a conversation.
Here, come back to me because I want to find this and show it. It's very interesting. It ties in with what you were just talking about.
Forgive me, my nose is itching. Does that mean I'm coming into money if my nose is? No, I think that's my hand. If my hand itches, I'm coming into money. I think my nose itches. Somebody's talking about me. I don't know.
Oh. You're gonna kiss a fool.
Oh, maybe I might.
Yeah, if you just want to come back to me,
okay, I will. I'll keep reading.
Find this in a second.
Okay. The questioner asked, then would this be like a conscious reprogramming of catalysts? For instance, for some entities, catalyst is programmed by the higher self to create experiences so that the entity can release itself from unwanted biases. Would this be analogs then to the entities consciously programming this release and using fasting as the method of communication to itself. Ra says, I am Ra. This is not only correct, but may be taken a little bit further. The self, if conscious to a great enough extent of workings of this catalyst and the techniques of programming, may though concentration of the will and the faculty of faith alone cause reprogramming without the analogy of the fasting, of the diet, or of other analogic body complex disciplines. So basically, you're going to do whatever your calling is to get to your higher being. If that's fasting, yeah. If it's reading your favorite book and sitting and saying, let me see that which I cannot see as I'm reading, that's you getting to your higher being. It doesn't necessarily have to, fasting does not necessarily have to be for the body. It could be you fasting from technology, right? There are a lot of people who've done that. A lot of people who've just finished going on a technology cleanse. And you go on a technology cleanse, and when you come back, here's the what the divine shared with me. When you come back from that technology cleanse and you bog yourself down with being the fact that maybe you have to start over on your platforms at a certain point, that goes with the territory. That's part of your fast. Why would you make that something that you're going to complain about? Because your platform wasn't going to wait for you during your fast. That's what the divine told me. Because I asked. I was seeing everybody do their getting off their platforms and getting off their phones and whatnot. And then I would see a lot of them come back and be annoyed because some of their algorithm had changed and they had to start over, and they were complaining about that. I asked the divine, does that hinder what the fast was about? The divine said, each one to their own. They have to figure that out. Told me not to worry about it, just to go with the flow. I'm just going with the flow. Right? Are you ready, Marcus?
Going with the flow. Here we go. Yeah, fasting is very nice to do every once in a while. Just, fast yourself from certain energies, certain foods. Just typically, I feel like the more present you are with yourself and you're tapped in with your own self and your body, you'll be able to feel, okay, maybe I'm a little overloaded on sugar lately, or maybe I am a little bit too, feeling heavy in my stomach lately. And then kind of tap into the reason why and what caused it. Now, when you figure out what caused it, you then learn the lesson. You don't have to go through that pain anymore because you avoid doing that.
Exactly.
Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
So this is interesting. I don't know, this just came to mind because we were talking about letting go of stuff and just being able to accept it. And this is pretty cool. This is a technique of gratitude that's used over in the Asian continent.
Marie Kondo's revolutionary approach to minimalism has been embraced by people around the world. Her core philosophy is simple: only keep things that truly bring us joy. As part of this process, Marie Kondo encourages us to thank each item we discard and to let go of our attachment to things that no longer serve us. By practicing this unique approach to minimalism, we can free ourselves from unnecessary material possessions and create more space for the things that bring us true happiness. Marie Kondo's guiding principles provide us with a powerful tool to declutter our lives and make room for more meaningful experiences. Marie Kondo's 5 rules of discarding. 1. Only discard what you don't need. Marie Kondo's core philosophy is simple: only keep things that truly bring you joy. Ask yourself, does this item bring me joy? If not, then let it go. 2. Discarding empowers you. Marie Kondo believes that discarding is an act of liberation. Every time you let go of something, you're freeing yourself from its hold over you. 3. Discard with gratitude. Marie Kondo believes that gratitude is the most essential element of a tidy home. As you discard your items, take a moment to genuinely appreciate what they've given you, and then let them go. 4. Discard what doesn't inspire you. Marie Kondo believes that each item we keep should inspire us. Ask yourself, does this item inspire me? If not, then let it go. 5 steps for discarding your possessions. 1. Discard what you don't need. Marie Kondo's core philosophy is simple: only keep things that truly bring you joy. Ask yourself, does this item bring me joy? If not, then let it go. 2. Discard items you don't use. Marie Kondo believes that the best way to discover what we truly need is to look at what we already have. Ask yourself, when was the last time I used this? If you haven't used it in a year or more, then let it go. 3. Discard items that disrupt the flow of your home. Marie Kondo believes that order is a state of mind, not a state of things. Ask yourself, does this item disrupt the flow of my home? If so, then let it go. 4. Discard items you regret acquiring. Marie Kondo believes that we will never have a truly tidy home if we're holding on to things that elicit guilt and regret. 5. Discard items that aren't useful to others. Marie Kondo believes that discarding things that don't bring us joy is an act of self-liberation. But discarding things that don't bring others joy is an act of selfishness. The art of saying goodbye. 1. Discard and let go. Marie Kondo believes that letting go is a process of discarding things, feeling the emotions that arise from doing so, and then letting go of those emotions. 2. Discard one thing at a time. Marie Kondo believes that discarding things is a process of discovery. Discarding one item at a time means that you'll be able to fully appreciate each of your possessions. 3. Discard individually. Marie Kondo believes that discarding things with others is a form of procrastination. You can't discard your emotions until you've discarded the item that they're attached to. 4. Discard with gratitude. Marie Kondo believes that discarding your items with gratitude is an act of self-forgiveness. Letting go of your material possessions is an act of forgiveness, not just towards others, but also towards yourself. Conclusion. Marie Kondo encourages us to thank each item we discard and to let go of our attachment to things that no longer serve us. By practicing this unique approach to minimalism, we can free ourselves from unnecessary material possessions and create more space for the things that bring us true happiness.
Oh, she's frozen.
Am I frozen? Am I back?
There you are.
Am I unfrozen? There I am. Yeah. We've been glitching, but hey, that's okay. We keep coming back because the divine wants us to keep coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Don't focus on the glitch, guys. Just focus on while we're here, right? So let's see. I'm not sure. And would this be a conscious reprogram of it? Okay, so the questioner says, I have a book, Initiation. I have a book, comma, Initiation, comma, in which the woman describes initiation. Are you familiar with the contents of this book? Ra says, I am Ra. This is correct. We can scan your mind. The questioner says, I have only read part of it, but I was wondering if the teachings in this book with respect to balancing were Ra's teachings. Ra says, I am Ra. This is basically correct, with distortions that may be seen when the material is correlated with the material we have offered. The questioner says, why are the red, yellow, and blue energy centers called primary centers? I think from previous material, I understand this, but is there some tracing of these primary colors back to intelligent infinity more profound than what you have given us? Whoa, that's a powerful question. The questioner is basically asking Ra, have you left something out? That's my perception. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Ra says, I am Ra. We cannot say what may seem profound to an entity. The red, the yellow, and the blue rays are primary because they signify activity of a primary nature. Red ray is the foundation. Orange ray, the movement towards yellow ray, which is the ray of self-awareness and interaction. Green ray is the movement through various experiences of energy exchanging or exchanges having to do with compassion and all forgiving love, to the primary blue ray, which is the first ray of radiation of self regardless of any action from another. The green ray entity is ineffectual in the face of blockage from other cells. The blue ray entity is a co-creator. This may perhaps simply be a restatement of previous activity, but if you consider the function of the logos as representative of the infinite creator in effectuating the knowing of the creator by the creator, you may perhaps see the steps by which this may be accomplished. May we ask for one final full question before we leave this working. So Ra said, I can't tell you how you perceive it. We said this is so. And Ra gave you the roadmap from the red to the orange, from the orange to the green, and from the green to the blue. And then said the blue ray entity is a co-creator. The infinite is seeing itself through growth and through expansion. What better roadmap am I spinning? I see myself when I'm spinning, but I don't know if you see me when I'm spinning. But that's all Ron is saying. Do I need to say it again?
Yeah, that was really weird. That was pretty bad.
It was pretty weird. So Ra
It sounded
is
like
just
it sounded like you were kind of like digitally falling through the screen or something.
whoa. So Ra is saying, we cannot say what may seem profound to an entity. Ra says they're not even going to step into what you possibly heard or how you took it or broke it down. Ra is saying that the red ray is the foundation. The orange ray is movement towards yellow ray, and the yellow ray, which is the ray of self-awareness and interaction. Then moving to the green ray is the movement through various experiences of energy exchanges having to do with compassion and all forgiving love to the primary blue ray, which is the first ray of radiance or radiance of self, regardless of any action from another. Then that moves into the green ray, which is ineffectual in the face of blockage from other cells. Then you move into the blue ray entity, which is co-creator. This may perhaps simply be a restatement of previous activity. All Ra is saying is, we said this shit before, basically. But you're asking again. So we're going to break it again. We're breaking it down again to you. But if you consider the function of the logos, the sun is a conscious logos. The moon is a conscious logos. You are a conscious logos. You're a conscious entity in human form. You are logos. You're a sub-logos. Earth is a logos. So it's saying, but if you consider the function of the logos as representative of the infinite creator, you're a representative of the infinite creator. So if you consider this as a function of the logos as a representative of the infinite creator and effectuating the knowing of the creator by the creator, you may perhaps see the steps by which this may be accomplished. Then you begin to understand the growth pattern from the red ray all the way up to the violet ray and beyond, to infinity and beyond. Back to you, Marcus.
I really love how detailed the chakras are talked about from Ra. Excuse me. From Ra. It's very fascinating because a lot of channelings that you read, you typically don't get very in-depth information and knowledge about chakras like that. And I think it's really cool and neat how very clear and descriptive they are and very tangible as well. And wow, it's
wow. And the fact
it's very powerful.
It's very powerful. And I love how Ra says we've been over this before, but we'll go over it again. Already been said and done in book 1. But hey, you're just asking me the question in a different in a different context. But I already answered this question, but I'm going to do it again. Yeah. And then Ra just breaks it down. And what Ra is simply saying is our chakras, our roadmap, an internal roadmap of how we get to live life, how we grow and how we expand. Our roadmap is everything is within us that we came here to express as. So basically, Ra said it's the infinite creator effectually knowing itself by itself to do what? To see the steps that we're gonna that we, this physical body and conscious mind, are being living life and accomplishing our expression of life. It's the dreamer having a dream about dreaming, about us dreaming. I'm going to say it again. It's the dreamer, the conscious dreamer of all that is and is not, having a dream about itself, dreaming about you living life, showing it who it is in physicality. No right, no wrong. And no two people having the same experience. Even Marcus and I, in this podcast right now, are sitting here talking about the same thing, sharing the same information, and having a different experience about it. He seeking and seeing his other self called Sandee, and I seeking and seeing my other self called Marcus in this informational exchange with you, seeking and experiencing you as our other selves. That's the divine seeking itself in, through, and as itself. And all the internal and external fields that we move through. I know it's late, Marcus. Do we have a little time for the last question that ends session 41?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So the questioner says, this may be too long a question for this working, but I will ask it. And if it is too long, we can continue it another time or at a later time. Could you please tell me the development of the social memory complex, RA, from its first beginnings, and what catalyst it used to get to where it is now in activation of rays? So did you understand the question that the questioner was asking? The questioner was asking about Ra. He's a social memory complex. Remember in book 1, Ra tells you what a social memory complex means. That his whole planet aligned. And they became a social memory complex. They became one. The question does not demand a long answer, for we who experience the vibratory densities upon that planetary sphere, which you call Venus, were fortunate in being able to move in harmony with the planetary vibration, with a harmonious graduation to second, to third, and to fourth, and a greatly accelerated fourth density experience, space, if you will, in fifth density, balancing at the intense compassion we had gained in fourth density. The graduation, again, was harmonious, and our social memory complex, which had become more firmly cemented in fourth density, remained of a very strong and helpful structure or nature. Our sixth density work was also accelerated because of the harmony of our social memory complex. So we were able to set out as members of the Confederation to even more swiftly approach graduation to seventh density. Our harmony, however, has been a grievous sort of naivety as regards working with your planet. Is there a brief query before we leave this instrument? The questioner says, is there anything that we can do to make the instrument more comfortable or improve? All is well. I leave you, my friends, in the love and in the light of the one infinite creator. Go forth, therefore, rejoicing in the power and the peace of the one infinite creator. Ra says, I am here. We are here. We have went through the steps through the third density. We have went through the fourth density. We have went through the fifth density. We have went through the sixth density. We have went through the seventh density and merged back with the divine. And then we came back here because Earth consciousness called us. And egregious is the fact that they're here and they're open to giving us the answers as we ask the questions. And guess what? We as human beings only get a portion of it, and we have to ask the question a different way to get another portion. You see this with the questioner. It is not a right or a wrong. It's take what resonates and let that resonate and let that grow you and let that expand you. Then what doesn't make sense, leave it alone. Don't give any negative energy or positive energy. When it's time to go back for that, you're going to ask another embodying question in which Ra is going to say, now you're ready for the next part. I'm going to repeat it for you. Why? Because Ra, this sixth, seventh density complex being, they are giving their unconditional love to us by being here to be the teacher. And while, don't get it twisted, while they're being the teacher, they're being the student and learning more about us. It's a give and take. The divine is seeking itself. It can always know more about itself. There are right now well over 8 billion entities on this planet that are beings, human beings. But think about the added entities that are your trees and your water and your fish and your dolphins and your whales and your sharks and your aquatic beings that we don't even know the name of. And then all that crawleth under the earth, and all that crawleth over the earth, and all that fly over the earth. The divine is still seeking itself and will always be seeking itself. It will be always growing and expanding. Waluku ate te no ku ate na. E shi son to ku uche na te e. Shana e na ku ade. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Until it's such time that you get to go back and say, what did I what now? Whew. Back to you, Marcus.
Back to me. OG. 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 All that talk has got me stirring up my synergy. Feeling the connection go through me.
Goddess Love says, what does a social memory complex mean? Social. Do you want to answer that for her real quick?
It's all you. Actually,
It's
don't
all
know the real definition.
The real definition of a social memory complex is a logos. In this case, it's Venus, where all the inhabitants of that merged as one. They all grew as one. They all became a wholeness. That's a social memory complex. There are the they. You are, we, I, Sandee, I'm a body, mind, soul complex. I've merged with my higher being, and my higher being has merged with my body, and my body is merged with my mind. I'm a body, mind, soul complex.
Wow.
Malagu ese lugu da him. I think of myself as a they. Now you get to ask, you get to think about it when they're saying, I don't see myself as a him or her. I see myself as a they. I've got to ask now. Well, tell me about tell me about when you moved into a they, because you just moved into a they. They become aware of body, mind, soul, and they want to identify as that. That blows my mind. I just got that right now. That's what Ra says. I am Ra. We are wholeness. Right? We are wholeness. Mr. Synchronicity says ENKIIJGG. I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. And I don't even know if he's still in here, but I don't know what that means. But anyway, we have finished for Ra. Ra says that we have finished, and we will be starting on Ra is like
Whoa. The tempo and the speed.
Wow. 8:52.
Nature wolf.
Hey, Nature Wolf. Mwah. One love.
It's almost midnight.
It's almost midnight. A good
Yeah, I
way
guess
to
so.
bring in a good way to bring in Thursday, right?
Thursday,
Thank
the
you, Rob.
10:10 portal. 10:10.
10:10.
Stepping through another gateway.
Mm.
Buckle up, everybody.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm just saying, the divine is saying, show me some more of myself. What are you going to show it?
Yep.
Right? Show me more of me. Right? Show me.
Casey
Show
says
me more.
Casey says she's a 10 out of 10. She's the future.
Yeah. She's a 10 of 10. Okay. Yeah.
You are the future.
Yeah. Show me.
That's right.
Right?
Each and every one of us.
We are the future. Our future is now, really. Right?
Yep.
Our future is now. Future is a now moment.
It's being molded and shaped right now with every decision we make.
Right. What's going to be happening is Marcus is going to be streaming on Facebook, Instagram, and his YouTube. And I am going to be streaming on my YouTube. So I will, what I will do is I will share bits of this back on my Instagram. But if you want to follow me, you're gonna have to follow me on my YouTube. So become family on my YouTube, and you're gonna get every bit of me there. It's gonna be the same as Instagram, but you're gonna share me on all platforms. Life keeps growing and expand with me, babies.
That's right.
I'm going to take you where I go. I think I just saw myself spin for a minute. I'm going to put you in my suitcase and I'm going to take you where I go. Where I go, you go.
Abundance. That's Casey. Abundance.
So I am going to have to go. I have an appointment that I have to be available for tomorrow, and I'm going to be bright and what is that? Bright and bushy-tailed. I'm going to sleep well and be whole. Sleep in what is that? I am going to allow myself to sleep, regenerate, rejuvenate, replenish, restore, and wake up refreshed.
Yes.
I think I got it right.
Ashe.
Oh,
everybody else out there, have a good rest. And have a beautiful rising as well.
I definitely
much love to you, Casey.
Yeah. I will call you tomorrow, sweetness, let you know what's going on. All righty. One love, everyone. We will be back on Wednesday. We believe we will be back same time.
10 p.m.
Same Sacred Light Healing
EST.
and Wellness channel, same time. 7 p.m. Pacific Standard, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. And you know what? We're gonna see how it goes with this time. I'm having a good vibrational kind of moment. I think this is gonna be growth and expansion for the next 30, because after book 2, guess what, guys? I believe I showed to you book 3. Book 3.
Oh man, we're gonna go like a whole year.
I'm telling you, book 3. And we're like, wow, we're moving. Look at that. This is the front, and we're like almost done. Whoop, whoop, there it is. Right. I ain't playing.
And we got some surprises coming along the way for you guys too. We'll continue to expand and find more interactive ways for you guys, and just keep an eye out. You know, we may introduce some giveaway type of stuff or some other fun activities.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
who knows? Maybe
I was gonna say I really appreciate, you know, all the people that consistently are in these spaces with us and really support us. It's really a beautiful thing.
Yeah. You know, it's gonna be time where we're gonna have you know, if we can, we're gonna figure out how to have a guest. Who knows? I know we just spun. And we spun at the same time. That was like in sync. Yeah. So anyway, so guys, one love, wholeness and balanced love, you know, be the creator that you were meant to be. Ask yourself an embodying question. Ask your higher being, and then give yourself grace to listen to your higher being give you or show you the answer. One love.
One love. Holds the mountain.